Hi. I've just done this video once and I've done it in my private members group by mistake. So I've got to start again. I'm such a plonker. So anyway, sorry about that. And for any of you in the private members group, if I'm doing, I was in the wrong place. But never mind. I'm here now. So say hi when you're there. I just wanted to share something with you. I'm going to, this will be the last video that I do now until Monday. I'm going to just not do it over the weekend. Anyone who watches this who is in my private members club or is on any of my courses or anything, they will continue to run over the weekend, but I won't just be popping on and doing these lives, but I will come back on Monday and do that. I'm going to pop the link in here for my members club because I always get asked and messaged after this, as I've done it at the moment. So it's 14 days free and there's a lower price point. So it actually starts at $11.99 a month instead of $24.95. But I want to talk to you in 2 seconds about physical symptoms. I'm just going to fill this in. So I'm going to pin this comment to the top, and that tells you, hi Chris, that just tells you all about my members club, how it works, blah, blah, blah. I've had a few new members this week, which has been lovely, and I've had very positive feedback so far of people joining in. So there is the link. Anyway, I wanted to share something with you. When I pop up on here, I tend to just share something that's come to mind that day because, you know, I could talk about this stuff for weeks on end. Hi Philip, yeah, it's been great actually. It's gone really quick, it's been fine. Average, say great, it's been quite boring, but average. Boring's okay though, boring is good. I've learnt to love boring. Anxiety is bad. Sorry to hear that, Barbara. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to share on here is something that's come up a lot in this last couple of weeks, again, with people, either whether I'm working one-to-one with them in my private members club, you know, on courses, anything. It's this idea that because at the moment we're on alert. Hi Vicky, I'm good, thank you. We're on alert for this virus that we're conscious that we might get physical symptoms that then might indicate we've got this virus and that we're poorly, etc., etc. So it's almost like everybody's become super sensitive to physical symptoms. Okay. Now, when I was really anxious, if I ever got unwell, I would always have this internal battle in my head. Am I ill? Is it a bug or is it anxiety? Is it something I need to really worry about or is it anxiety? And I'd find it really confusing and I'd drive myself potty with it and I'd just want to know the answer so I could know one way or the other. And we can't give ourselves that answer. You know, when we send a message to our brain that we're in danger, I've just been doing this today because I've got a 1-week course on OCD, and this is a really important thing to know and understand if you are having obsessive thoughts and holding on to thoughts. That the part of your brain where you're sending that message to that you're in some sort of danger or something bad might happen because you're worrying is the same part of the brain that regulates your temperature. It speeds up your heart rate. So there's a very strong physical reaction to our thinking. Now, when people get ill and feel uncomfortable because they're overthinking and they're anxious, often until they've experienced it for a while, and even then they really can't believe that these feelings and these physical symptoms that are so strong could possibly be coming from their thinking. But I can tell you that they can. They're extremely powerful. Our thoughts can create an extremely powerful chain reaction and physical reaction in our body. I ended up in A&E with anxiety years ago, having an ECG on my heart. I honestly thought there is no possible way that I wasn't unwell. A lot of people listening to this who've experienced anxiety have probably ended up in an ambulance or in hospital at some point. It's really common because the overthinking and the worry and the stress of the anxiety creates some extreme physical symptoms. And because we're on alert for it at the moment and we're anxious thinking, it's quite a vicious cycle because anxious thinking will create some very physical, at times very physical responses. So your heart might be racing. So you might feel really hot and sweaty, and then you might feel really cold. And then you're thinking, have I got a fever? Have I got a temperature? Then you might feel really sick because your stomach's unsettled. You might feel your heart skip a beat, and you know, there's so many things. And then the vicious cycle is that people then go on to worry about that. So what I want to say to you is, you can't give yourself that answer. What you need to do is trust in your body, that your body is going to tell you what to do. I got a cold sore last week. I thought I wasn't worrying too much about this. I'm not worrying massively, but that cold sore tells me otherwise. That cold sore tells me I am in some way run down. It's sending me a message. Our body is great for that. Some illnesses, you get a rash. Our bodies will tell us and will indicate what it is that it's trying to communicate to us. So the best thing you can do if you have any worry that you have any physical symptoms of any sort is not try and figure out, have I got corona? Have I got this? Have I got that? Is it anxiety? It's just to take the best care of yourself, to rest, to stay hydrated, because those feelings are going to pass. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people watching this now, and I've done this many, many times in the past, where I'll wake up and think I'm ill. I used to have a real phobia about getting sore throats because I hated the sensation of my throat feeling tight, because when I was anxious, I would feel like I had a lump in my throat. So one of my biggest fears was getting a sore throat and feeling like I couldn't breathe, even though I could. And so if I could wake up in the morning with a bit of a dry throat, I'd instantly go into, oh my goodness, what if it's a sore throat and it gets really bad and I get tonsillitis and I feel like I can't breathe, and I'd just go off on one. And then an hour down the line, when I forgot about it and I'm going about my day, my throat no longer hurts. Now, it could go on to be a sore throat, or it might go. Either way, me self-diagnosing and going into loads of detail about what it might be and what might happen definitely isn't going to help me either way, whether I'm ill or not. And so the best thing we can do is allow our minds to settle, trust in our body. If we feel in that moment that we need to rest or take time out, then that's what we do. Like, just listen to your body, listen to your feelings, listen to your body. But I really just wanted to say that physical symptoms really can feel extreme with worry. And so I know that people say, oh, it can't possibly be that because I feel so terrible. I think the most ill I've ever felt, and I've had, I suppose the worst thing I've had is having gallbladder removed. And having gallstones. When gallstones pass, it's pretty unpleasant and quite painful. And yet I'd still say physical symptoms of anxiety felt much worse. So, and people aren't making it up. When someone's anxious and feels unwell, they're not making it up. They're not imagining pain. They're not imagining tightness in the chest. They're not imagining. It's their body that they're feeling having a physiological reaction to what their thoughts are telling them. So the best thing you can do is give yourself time and space and take care of yourself, and it will either pass or it won't. Thank you for this reassurance. I've been feeling panicky and had all the physical signs of worry, called 111, ready for the worst, and found it settled after a little forced me time. Scary as hell, but normal. We're human. Yes, you're absolutely right. And we can all have loads of physical symptoms that feel very similar to lots of things we're looking out for. But again, even if you did have coronavirus, they're not going to come and whisper you away from your bed and take you. Like, the chances are that it would, again, I know there's lots of awful things happening, and there always is in the world, and there always is at times, but they're not going to whisk you away. They're just going to get you to rest and stay hydrated. So do that anyway. And then you will hopefully see in a lot of cases that it does just pass. She says with a cough. Okay. Had a tight chest for about 10 days, sore throat and bad eye. Thought I was going to die from this virus. Crazy irrational thinking. I don't get unwell very often and panicked, but it looks like it was full-blown anxiety. God knows what the sore throat eye thing was, but it wasn't anything terrible. I'm not listening to the news anymore. It injects more fear. Okay, yeah, stay well away from the news and keep looking towards and exploring. You don't have to come in my private members group to do this. There's loads of other resources online, but there's people out there like me who are pointing people in this direction all the time. So if you really want to tackle it, then there's more that you can, there's stuff that you can do. Keep exploring it. I've pinned the comment, some more information about that on this post. But this thing about sore throat and eye thing, when we're stressed and we're overthinking, it causes all sorts of level of inflammation in the body. So it can make you feel like you've got a sore throat because your throat maybe, or your vocal cords or something may be slightly inflamed. Like, it causes stress and worry causes inflammation in the body. Yeah. So no symptom is unexplained in terms of anxiety. That's me the same. I think that. Be like Wurzel Gummidge. I have anxiety and panic attacks really bad. Took over my life. don't help, I'm in a messy situation. Well, again, we can all be in messy, challenging, difficult situations in our lives. Some people, have been in situations that have spoken to me that I can't even begin to imagine how it would be to be in that situation. But what I do know is that no matter what our external circumstances are, we can always find peace of mind internally. Always. Hi, Nicola. I can't remember where this came. There was a story somewhere in another 3 Principles group that I came across of somebody was saying that they passed a homeless guy. And I'm not saying this of all homeless people, by the way, but it's just an example. They passed a homeless guy, I'm making a bit of this up because I can't remember it fully, but it was along the lines of they passed a homeless guy and they used to pass him every day and they felt so bad for him, so worried for him, and they'd give money sometimes or they'd give a coffee sometimes, and they felt really like, oh, this poor guy. And then one day said, I'm going to just sit and talk to him and ask him, what it was that got him there and have a chat with him. And then this person said, I was saying to him, look, can I help you? What if I could get you a hostel for tonight and then could do this and we could try and get you this, and almost trying to resolve the problems for him. And his response was, I don't want to be anywhere other than on the streets. And this person was like, how can that be? He said, because I actually did get off the streets at one point. I got a flat, I had bills, and I'd never felt more stressed in my life. I feel free here. And as I say, not everyone's going to feel like that, and it certainly wouldn't be for me. But clearly that shows that person's perspective of being on the streets versus having a flat and having bills to pay was that he'd rather be on the streets. And it's just interesting, isn't it? Because he'd found his peace of mind on the streets. So I just wanted to share that. So I'm going to leave that there. And as I say, I can't remember what I said because I've done this video twice because I went in my private members club by mistake instead because I'm so used to just popping in there that I went in the wrong place. But please do share this if you find it helpful. There's so many people out there that will come across these videos just because they get shared, and believe you me, they really help because they message me. So if you're happy to do so, please share it, and I will be back next week, going on live as often as I can in between keeping up with my work and everything else. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend and take care, everyone. Bye.